Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. I think some of us have a love-hate relationship with the transfer portal. You look at college football in 2024, you add in NIL, and it's unlimited free agency in college football. I talked earlier in the week about Tyler Barron, a guy that was at Tennessee, had 1 year of eligibility left. He hops in the portal, commits to Ole Miss, flips that to Louisville, goes through spring camp. Then he jumps back in the portal again, transfers to Miami. He's a guy that played football for 3 different teams throughout the course of a 12-month calendar. So it is unlimited free agency. It gives, it takes away. But one of you guys left a comment, and it's something that I've said a lot on this channel, and I agree with. If it wasn't for the transfer portal, if it wasn't for NIL, this rebuild for Josh Heupel, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. But that is part of the problem. Now we're in the college football playoff. We got Ohio State coming up on Saturday, but we also had 3 visitors in town over the course of the weekend in the transfer portal. So Josh Heupel, when do you ever sleep? You talk about how much the guy gets paid. Recruiting, the portal, it never stops for Josh Heupel. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about those guys that were in town this weekend. One guy that's also scheduled to visit throughout the course of this week, sometime midweek, Josh Thompson, the interior offensive lineman from Northwestern. So we'll keep an eye on that, see when he rolls into town. But we're going to talk about the 3 guys that were here, one of which has now been predicted to end up at Tennessee. But before we get into it, I need you guys to do the YouTube stuff. You already know by now. Smash the thumbs up just below the video. It's quick, it's free, and it's easy, and it helps this channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. Also, if it's your first time here, welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not media. What we are is what you are. We're fans. This channel is for the fans, by the fans. If you like it, subscribe, click the bell for notifications. You're not going to miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. We're going to be live later tonight, 6:30 p.m. Eastern time. We play EA Sports College Football. We have a good time. There's a lot of banter. I go head-to-head with some of you guys in the chat. We got a dynasty mode. Come hang out, though. We talk Tennessee football all night long. Also, Talkin VAWLS live Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. We're going to dig into this Ohio State game. Friday morning, Boogie and the coaches, 10 a.m. Come hang out. We'll get you geared up, ready to go for kickoff. But let's talk about the transfer portal. Let's talk about the guys that were here this weekend. James Thompson, defensive lineman from Wisconsin, was in town, 6'5", 295-pound senior. He was a 3-star prospect from Cincinnati, Ohio, coming out of high school. Didn't play. Now, this is something I mentioned when we talked about him earlier, when we knew he was going to be taking this visit. Didn't play in the 2024 season after having season-ending surgery for an upper body injury. Now, Volquez put out, after having him in town, interviewing him, asking him some questions, he is back to lifting weights and should be 100% for spring camp. So that's worth noting. But he redshirted in 2020, played in all 39 games for the next 3 seasons, started 7 games in 2021 and all of the 22 and 23 season. Big Ten academic All-American all 3 of those years, had 58 tackles and 5 sacks throughout the course of that time. Something that I like. We talk about whether we take these one-and-done guys or guys with multiple years of eligibility. I think sometimes when you got a guy like James Thompson, it's no nonsense. There's no BS. He knows this is a business trip. He's looking to get to the league, and this is his opportunity to do that. He said came in late Sunday night. He was here through Monday evening. This is what Brent Hubbs put out from VolQuest. Said Tennessee set the bar high on the visit. Even though he wasn't here that long, he's now going to visit SMU, Illinois, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State before making a decision. Also, according to Hubbs, said he wants to make a decision sooner rather than later, and when he finds a place, he will be done. Says there is no need to drag it out. Now let's move on to the next. Another guy that was here over the course of the weekend, that's JVR Suggs, a guy we've been talking about in some of the videos here lately, 6'3", 295-pound defensive lineman from LSU. He was a graduate transfer from Grand Valley State, where he played in 18 games, had 42 tackles, 14.5 tackles for loss, and 8 sacks. Then he transferred to LSU. This is from a 247 Sports article, said Suggs was projected to take on a bigger role in LSU's defense next year, after being a productive part of the Tigers' defensive line rotation during his first year in the program. As a late addition during the spring transfer portal window, Suggs recorded at least 1 tackle in 8 different games. Says his impact went beyond what the stats reflected. Says he's an effective space eater in the middle of the defensive line, and he proved to be athletic enough to push his way into opposing backfields at the SEC level. So a guy, again, that was in town this weekend. Here's a quote after the visit. Said, overall, what stood out to me was the people, the coaches, the environment. It's really a family-like environment. You can tell they preach hard work, dedication, and they all want to play for each other. Now, that quote, you can pretty much copy-paste it for a lot of the guys that come into town, a lot of the guys that visit Tennessee. We talk about the culture. We preach culture. until we get into transfer portal season. When we get into transfer portal season, we freak out. We start yelling. We want it now. Instant gratification. The portal has been open just a little over a week, and we're upset because we don't have any commitments. We've not dropped the bag. We've not got the big-time prospects. Sometimes you got to trust Josh Heupel. Let Josh Heupel cook. He knows what he's doing with the environment, what he's doing with the culture. So the first quote out of Suggs' mouth here, just confirmation of that. Goes on to say, just watching their practice today, their scheme, listening to the coaches talk to the players, it shows why they are in the playoffs, shows why they have a good chance to make a championship run. Anybody would be lucky to be a part of it. Now, Brett Hubbs put out an update, said high on Tennessee, said it was clear watching the practice. They're a playoff team. He likes Coach Garner. Said he's going to be very selective this time around, finding the best fit for him, which will focus a lot on scheme. So, again, these guys that don't have as much eligibility left, it's a business trip. And I like that they're no nonsense. Here's another quote, said, really staying more focused on what I want for my final year. Said, I felt like for me, for more of my last year, I need everything to go right for me to complete my goal, which is to make it to the NFL or be the best player I can in college football, just staying more focused. Now, he visited Wisconsin. Then he took this trip to Tennessee, said he may take a couple of more visits, plans on making a decision before the end of the week. So we will see what happens. We will continue to keep an eye on JVR Suggs. We'll continue to keep an eye on James Thompson. After the end of this week, we go into a dead period. So it'll be interesting to see how many of these decisions come out before the end of the week. Now, we got some more good news. We know we need some help on the interior offensive line. We've been talking a lot about it. We've been talking about Andres Carrick. Does he get that extra year of eligibility? And if so, all of a sudden your offensive line starts to look pretty dang strong for 2025 when you look at left tackle with Lance Hurd, a guy that continued to get better as the year went along. I think Andres Carrick's a really good player at left guard. William Satterwhite going to take over for Cooper Mays at center. You slide in a right guard from the transfer portal, and then Big Dave Sanders at right tackle, and you're ready to go. Well, who could that right guard be? Well, this popped up on Twitter earlier this morning. On threes, Pete Nakos has logged an expert prediction for Tennessee to land Arizona transfer interior offensive lineman Wendell Moe Jr. He ranks as the number 5 interior offensive lineman in the portal. Now, we panic, right? We freak out. It's not happening fast enough. Go back to last year. Same conversations were being had last year. I think Josh Heupel did a pretty dang good job in the portal last year. His track record speaks for itself. We've talked about this all week long. Josh Heupel has been successful. When you look at the guys that he has added, and not just added, but those guys that have contributed to this football program versus the guys that we have lost. And now you look at Wendell Moe Jr., who when you first saw his name, you may have said, who? Who is this guy? 5th best interior offensive lineman in the transfer portal. What do we need? Interior offensive lineman. Wendell Moe Jr. predicted to Tennessee by Pete Nakos, 6'2", 339-pound interior offensive lineman. He's a redshirt sophomore, started in 11 games at left guard. He's got 2 years of eligibility remaining. He was a 3-star coming out of high school from Long Beach Poly in California, same hometown as Nico Iamaleava. Now, they didn't know each other. They met each other during the visit. Wendell Moe Jr. kind of surprised us all, right? He showed up on campus late Saturday night, left Monday morning. We had no clue he was even here till we saw the exit interviews after the visit. But I think that's the way Josh Heupel works in the portal. I think everything is quiet. I think he wants to keep it quiet, right? This is from an article over at 247 Sports. Earned AP All-Second Team honors in the Pac-12 as a freshman. Started 27 games in 3 seasons for the Wildcats, entering Arizona at around 360 pounds. He's trimmed down over the course of his career to become a powerhouse on the interior for an offense that put up some big numbers the last 2 seasons. PFF grade 67.4 overall, 60.1 in run blocking, 88.3 in pass blocking. I think we would all agree the offensive line struggled in pass protection. We've led the conference in rushing the past 2 seasons. I think some of that is scheme. I think some of that is what Josh Heupel, the way his offense works, spread you out, take advantage of the numbers game. But I also think we've had some pretty good dang running backs on this football team the last couple of years. But we've struggled in pass protection, so I like seeing the grade up high right there. Again, showed up on campus late Saturday night, left early Monday morning. The quote, great facility, great coaching staff, great players. Got to meet the offensive line on Sunday. That was enjoyable. Just overall, a great experience. Again, he wants to wrap this thing up quick, also expected to make a decision by the end of the week. But when I see the prediction there coming in from Pete Nakos, is this a done deal? Is this a wrap? Is Wendell Moe Jr. going to end up at Tennessee? Wanted to jump on and put out a quick update once I saw the prediction for Wendell Moe, kind of recap the weekend of visits that took place. What are your thoughts? Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As always, smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. We would greatly appreciate it. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Also, think about joining the channel. This channel does not exist without your support. For the fans, by the fans, also fan funded. Think about hitting that join button. $1. Just $1 is all we ask per month. Keeps the lights on around here, allows us to provide content specifically throughout the offseason as we roll into transfer portal, as we roll into recruiting, film breakdown, all that type of stuff. We need your support. There is a link in the description below for the merchandise and also to join the channel. But if not, hit the thumbs up because it's quick, free, and easy. Jump in the comment section. Let's talk about it because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.